Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. The number to call 608-270-9933. I don't think we have to talk about watering at all today.
No, I think we're safe to not water for the next week.
Let's go to BJ from Montello. You're our first caller. Go ahead.
Hi. I have a gardenia flower in a pot, and I'm wondering if I plant it in the ground, will it survive the winters here? Maybe if I put hay around it or something?
It will not, BJ. Gardenias need, I think they're like zone 7 or 8, and so no. We're zone 5. You'll want to bring it inside, and before you do that, and any houseplants that any of you have outside, you're going to want to treat them for insects before you bring them inside. So spray them with insecticidal soap or put in a systemic insecticide. Make sure they're cleaned up before you bring them indoors.
Okay. Or move to Georgia.
Or move to Georgia.
And you can plant it outside. Dan from DeForest. Hi, Dan. What's your question?
Hi, Lisa. I have a place in DeForest and a place up in Montello, and we planted morning glories. And our place in DeForest is flowering all over the place, but the ones up in Montello are not. And is it the soil or what?
I would guess it's more that it's a temperature issue. Morning glories are one of the annuals that are late to bloom, and it might just be that it caught up in that really hot for a couple of days and then cool temperatures. So they are hardy up there. I know that we grew them in Sheboygan and they were fine. So I think it's just the weird year, the weather that we've had this year.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling. Doug in Broadhead. Hi, Doug. What's your question?
Hey, I always get the same variety of tomato, a Better Boy. Mm-hmm. And I every year I get that yellow leaf wilt, like for tickly on leaf, whatever. It comes up from the bottom. Is Better Boy prevalent to that, or is it something to my watering technique?
Well, that sounds like the late blight, which is the less serious of the 3 tomato blights. It's in the air, and hybrid tomatoes tend to be less susceptible than some of the old-fashioned heirloom ones. I think it's just that we have had really damp springs and summers the last couple of years, and blight is just really prevalent. Also, if you let your tomatoes you let the litter kind of hang out in the soil, sometimes the spores will get in the soil and reinfect. So there's a couple things you can do. You can plant them in a different place next year, or if you can't do that, I would put down a nice layer of hay or some kind of mulch around the plant to keep the soil to keep it clean so that you don't get splash up.
So the spores don't come up.
So the spores don't splash up on the ground.
If they do start turning yellow, do I pinch them off and get rid of them?
Yeah, yes, and luckily late blight, you can still harvest your tomatoes. Some of the other blights, you're not able to do that.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you very much for your help.
You're welcome. Let's go to Randy now in Beaver Dam. Hi, Randy.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead.
Yeah, I got what they call Zic lily, a lilium. I'd like to know if do I cut that back now that it's done, or do I just leave it?
Yeah, you've got an Asiatic lily, and all of those lily plants, once they're done flowering, you want to remove the flower stem, just that the flower so it doesn't go to seed. But sometimes you'll get lots of little, what they call bulblets along the stem where the leaves are, little black, about as big as a pea. And if those will fall off, they're sort of like seeds and they'll redevelop. But once the foliage starts to yellow, then go ahead and cut it back to the ground.
Or just get some rabbits in your yard like me.
Or deer. They also do an excellent job.
They're gone completely. All right, we're out of time. If you're on the line, Lisa will talk to you off the air. Good to see you next week.
I think we'll see you Wednesday.
On Live at 4.
Yes.
Great.